Hello everyone, my name is Philip. I'm going to be doing the next video on a Mechanic Monday. I'm going to talk about saddle height. I'm the master bike fitter here at 701 Cycle and Sport, and I'm going to talk about the importance of saddle height and how to kind of achieve that on your own without going to a bike fitter. Levi is my demo partner in this exercise, and so I've currently set his saddle up so it's a little low, and I just wanted to kind of show you guys what low is and how that can affect the knee. So I'm going to have Levi kind of pedal to the bottom of the stroke here, and so I've already measured this angle, but essentially we're at about a 45-degree angle, and actually the better example of how this can affect his knee is at the top of the stroke. So I'm going to kind of back him up a little bit here, and so over the top we're going to start to put undue pressure on his patella, and so it's also closing up his hip angle. And the same thing through here. This is his 3 o'clock position, which is his most powerful position through the pedal stroke. And so again, we have too much of an angle here. It's too closed, and it's like pulling a it's putting too much pressure on this patella through the center of the stroke. If it's too high, I'm going to raise it up. So go ahead and lift off. I'm just going to go up too high here real quick. All right, so go ahead and sit back down and go to the bottom of the stroke. So go ahead and lift up again. I'm going to go up some more. And so what happens here, go ahead and sit down and go to the bottom of the stroke. So right here, now it's opening up the knee. So it's going to create pain. Actually, you can tell which one it is. If you're having pain in the front of the knee, then the saddle's too low. And if you're having pain more in the center of the knee, then the saddle's too high. It's opening that joint up at the bottom of the pedal stroke. So one is affected more like at the top of the pedal stroke and at the 3 o'clock position, your most powerful position, and the other one has an effect more so at the bottom of the pedal stroke. So it affects the knee in 2 different ways. I'll go ahead and lift off, Levi. I'm going to go back down. So there's a range of, go ahead and sit back down. There's a range where the knee at the point of terminal extension, so that's at the bottom of the stroke that we're looking for. It's a target range. So it's 20 to 40 degrees. And the way I find that as a bike fitter is I'm just going to have him pedal to the bottom of the stroke, and then I'm going to assess. Actually, I'm going to have him pedal around so I can assess his ankling through the, so go ahead and pedal around, and we're going to set your ankling up. So yeah, get comfortable on the pedal and just pedal around. Come up to like 60%. And so we can kind of tell he's pedaling a little toe down. His knee looks a lot better because I've raised the saddle some, but I'm going to take an exact number. So I'm going to have you stop at the bottom of the pedal stroke. Go ahead and stop when you're ready. There you go. And he preserved his ankle angle, which is what I wanted for him to do, what he's doing when he's riding, for me to take my measurement. So now I'm just going to go through the center of the knee and the greater trochanter here and the malleolus, or the ankle bone, right here in the center of the ankle bone through the center of the knee. And we're trying to figure out exactly what this angle is on him. So right now, he's at about a 35-degree angle. A little bit, maybe a little bit more closed than 35 degrees. So the majority of people are at 35 degrees. The range is 20 to 40 degrees. So he could be lower. It's okay. He could also go higher, and that's fine too. But him being at the 32 degrees around there. Go ahead and lift your ankle up a little bit. There you go. Him being at that angle, where would I suggest he go? You know, actually he's closer to 40 now. Just depends on that ankle angle of how he sets it. Just relax. I just want to. So for me, he's at a good position right now. If anything, I would probably recommend that he go up a little bit, you know, but he's in the range, and that's fine. The next thing is like saddle fore and aft. Oh, an easy way to do this at home, that's just the point of the video really, is he could put his heel onto the pedal. So just slide your hip foot forward and put your heel, and then they call it straight leg down. So we're able to achieve a straight leg, and like I said, he can go up just a little bit there. But that's a good way to establish your saddle height without going and seeing. And especially something else to think about is what kind of pedals is he running? He's running flat pedals versus SPD, or a clipless pedal at SPD or a Crank Brothers or some type of clipless system. So I like to consider going a little bit lower with somebody that's on platforms, just because they move their feet around a lot versus being, you know, stuck in one position. You tend to move forward for relief and back for relief. So I tend to go a little bit lower for platform setups. So then the next thing that affects saddle height is saddle fore and aft. And I'm just going to bring you up here, and basically I drop a plumb off the knee line here, and it should be at the end of the crank arm right through here. So I'm just going to do a quick assessment. And so his knee is at the 3 o'clock position in his pedal stroke. His knee is directly over the end of the crank arm. If he wasn't, I'd move the saddle back or forward depending on what I need to do. But as I move the saddle back and forth, that can open up the point of terminal extension. So it can change his saddle height, because as the saddle moves back, it's moving away from the bottom bracket. So something to consider is, where is the saddle fore and aft, and where is it in its position on height? So they kind of move together in fractions. So that's pretty much all I have for an easy way to set up your saddle height at home, and the two different pains you may feel. I, as a fitter, would suggest that you attempt to switch to clipless pedals, because there's a lot that goes on with the knee laterally. And so to set your feet width, you know, also there's a lot that can happen with your feet being like numb toes. What else? Especially those two things you can alleviate with a correct foot placement. So, you know, you can move your feet fore and aft. You know, by shifting the cleat fore and aft, you can move the cleat in and out, so that can stabilize the knees so you don't get tracking of your knees out or in. So that's all I have. My name is Philip. Again, if you have any questions, you can contact me at 701 Cycle and Sport. Thanks.